the Badgers look to take another step towards a district championship while exacting a bit of revenge. Good evening and welcome to Mullen High School in Denver, Colorado for High Plains Media and Broadcasting's coverage of the 2A District 4 tournament on CHSAA.tv. Ryan Coffin along with Tristan Samuels. And Tristan, good win Tuesday night for the girls, but this is going to be a little bit more difficult. A team that in Front Range Christian that they had lost to last in January 18th, and turnovers played a big role in. Turnovers will kill you no matter what level you play at.
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. It's been quite a trek here for the Badgers, but they have turned around since. They went on a big losing streak, and they've turned around and been undefeated for the last, I believe it's 9 games straight right now. And that's it's a good time to get hot. They got over 500 in the regular season, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep it going tonight.
And we'll go ahead and step aside for just a moment for the playing of the national anthem. Keturah Tatum, one of the singers of the national anthem. So you had one Lyman Badger player and one Front Range Christian player singing the national anthem, and that's about the last time they're going to be friendly here this evening. Talking a little bit more about that last matchup, the Badgers losing by 6. We mentioned the turnovers, Badgers -6 in that category, which you don't have to be a math wizard to know that if you give a team 6 extra possessions and give up 6 points, then you're going to be in bad shape. But let's talk about these two teams overall, Tristan. You've followed this Badgers team, obviously, through the vast majority of the season. J.C. Hollenbaugh, last time out against this team, only Badger score in double digits, and that's been a theme all season long. J.C. Hollenbaugh can really score the basketball.
Yeah, and she's really come along this season, Ryan, and picked up the slack. And I believe she's just a 10th grader, and she has got still some development to go, but she has been a catalyst for this team during this run. She struggled early. She struggled from the free throw line, but she's really found her rhythm, found her shot, and provided the Badgers that much-needed third scorer in addition to, in the outset, for Keturah Tatum and Celia Vick. So going to be interesting to see how the points get spread around tonight for the Lyman Badgers.
Well, and I mentioned JC being the only Badger scorer in double digits, so that's something against a very balanced Front Range Christian team. The Badgers have got to get the scoring outputs that they're used to from players like Keturah Tatum and Celia Vick, like Tristan mentioned. For Front Range Christian, they had 3 scores in double digits and last time these two teams played, and that is kind of a microcosm of their season overall. You look at their stats, you don't find one player that just jumps out at you. I know they have one that leads them in both rebounding and assists, but seems like a pretty well-balanced team that shares the basketball very well.
Absolutely, and that leading scorer, like you said, doesn't really jump off the page as Janelle Hill with 8 points and 5 rebounds per contest. But like you said, it was Janelle Hill and I believe it's Charis Courtney and Courtney Larson, all in double digits last time out for the Front Range Christian School. And so it'll be interesting to see if they can maintain that kind of spread from an offensive standpoint. But I really think this is going to come down to who can defend in the half court. Maybe we'll see some full court, three-quarter court pressure tonight. But I think it's going to come to defense and rebounding tonight as we get tipped off.
And we're underway. Badgers will control the basketball to begin here. With it at the top of the key is Kelly Lineber. She's joined on the floor by Alyssa Reyes, J.C. Hollenbaugh, who we mentioned ad nauseum during the beginning of the game. Katura Tatum in there as well. Pass into the paint, and Reyes able to go down and get it. Here's a shot. That'll be a three-pointer and a good start for the Badgers. Kelly Lineber with the three ball.
And she struggled kind of off and on from the three-point line this year, Ryan, as we see a little bit of half-court pressure here by the Badgers. But she's been streaky from outside. But that's a good start, and that looks good, like getting off to a good start for Lyman Badgers.
And it seems Coach O'Dwyer wants to keep up the pressure, not going full-court pressure quite yet, but trapping at half-court, which led to the turnover for Front Range Christian. Another pass going in for Reyes. That's the second time the Badgers have done that. Both times Reyes has not been able to handle the pass. Front Range Christian coming back the other way, and a shot from the baseline is up and in for Alex Long, the senior, just one of many for Front Range Christian. Badgers lead cut down to 1.
And it appears that Reyes, getting the start this evening over Sealy Vick. Sealy Vick started the majority of the year, as we see a foul there on the layup attempt. What is that number?
Yeah, they'll get Kelly Lineber with the foul, and going to the line for 2 free throws will be Cammie Selesky.
Nicely done there with the pronunciation of Selesky. So like I was saying, Reyes worked herself into a starting position partly because Sealy Vick has been suffering some injuries. She had a knee injury that was after a pretty bad high ankle sprain out at Hugo, Colorado, in a loss out there. So it's really good to see her make it into the lineup and be a contributor for this team, although she's been a little bit jittery to start out.
The three-pointer is missed by J.C. Hollenbaugh. Front Range Christian able to control the rebound. 6:26 left to go in the opening quarter. Badgers tied with Front Range Christian at 3. This is the semifinals in District 4 in Class 2A. Here's a shot from the far side wing. No good. Front Range Christian grabs their own rebound, and they'll pass it back out to the perimeter. With the far side is Selesky. She'll pass it up top for Porth, and now Porth back with it. Now here's the three-pointer from Janelle Hill, who is the leading scorer for Front Range Christian, and there she buries the 3 to give Front Range their first lead of the game.
I think that one brought down a few cobwebs from the rafters as it splashes in, and then you got Carolyn Florick comes right down the other end for a nice sweet jumper from the elbow to answer right back for the Badgers.
Here's Selesky, far side wing, out to Hill. Badgers late to get out to her. Luckily for them, she misses the shot, and trying to save it was Courtney Larson. She could not, and it will be a turnover to the Badgers. The Badgers with 5:34 left to go in the first.
Sorry, Ryan. The Badgers are going to have to really pay attention to that. She didn't get much of a look, but the little bit that she did, she definitely got that ball off. So giving you an idea that she is ready to shoot and willing, that's for sure. As we see the Badgers going to control in the half court now, working the ball around nicely. Carolyn Florick.
It looks like an offensive foul underneath, as Alyssa Reyes maybe getting a little bit too physical there underneath, jockeying for position. Boys and the girls game, as Bart O'Dwyer frustrated on the sidelines as his team commits another foul here, sending another Eagles player to the line, and she buries the shot.
That's going to be number 22, Charis Courtney, one of the players we were talking about at the top of the game that was in double digits last trip out against the Badgers.
Double-double for her in that game. as a substitution will occur for the Badgers. Coming into the game will be Seely Vick, coming in for Alyssa Reyes. So here's Vick, and here's a three-pointer by the Badgers. No good. Tatum with a great rebound and putback, and that gets the Badgers back to within 2.
They're going to stay in this half-court pressure. Let's see if they can force a turnover. They've really got to fly to the ball, and that's a girl they cannot leave wide open. Number 10, Janelle Hill.
And a shot was missed underneath by Courtney Larson, rebounded by Katura Tatum. Badgers pushing it back the other way. Pass in the corner. Hollenbaugh for 3. Off the mark, rebounded by Front Range Christian. And now a foul will be called. As was it Kelly Linneber? It was, reaching in there on the player for Front Range Christian that rebounded the ball.
I'm going to see Riley Anderson, 5'4", 10th grader, come into the game for Linneber. And that's going to be the older Linneber, I believe, Kelly Linneber. She's going to come out of the game. She's a 5'5", 12th grader.
And I think Linneber, that's at least her second foul. We'll see. It's a 4th team foul for the Badgers. It's her second. So Coach O'Dwyer not taking any chances. We may see her sit for the rest of this quarter. So Coach O'Dwyer makes sure he has no players in foul trouble. And now a timeout called as Front Range Christian just gets across midcourt. So 4:14 to go in the first. Badgers down 9-7. And at first blush, Tristan would say, looking up at the scoreboard, fouls. Definitely something that is playing a part here in the early goings.
Yeah, and I think that's more of a, not to defend one side over the other, but I think that's more of an aggressiveness stance than anything else. They've just come out aggressive. Both teams are really feeling each other out. Lyman is trying to exact some pressure in the half court. Hasn't really paid dividends just yet, but that kind of pressure, if they keep it up all game, it's going to be one of those things that pays dividends in the third and fourth quarter. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see how that develops. Pretty pedestrian pace thus far, though.
It is, as Front Range Christian will inbound and taken away by the Badgers. Seely Vick going the other way. Tried to pass it down low for Anderson, and it's taken away by Front Range Christian. Missed opportunity there for the Badgers with the fast break. Here comes the Falcons back the other way. Shot on the way, misses. Underneath, Front Range getting their own rebound. May have been some contact. No whistle. Ball goes out, and they'll say it'll stay with Front Range Christian.
Yeah, it's a tremendous amount of hustle there under the basket, but just everyone looks just a little bit slow to the ball right now, and it's just kind of a little bit scrappy. Hoping this game will sharpen up a little bit. As I think that Coach O'Dwyer was looking for a travel call against Courtney Larson there, but she got the benefit of the doubt, and Lyman will control on the turnover.
Yeah, it pays off with Katura Tatum getting the block shot. Here's Hollenbaugh on the far side, and she's going to get called for the double dribble, and now give Front Range Christian the ball back. 3:36 to go in the first. Badgers trailing 9-7.
They're going to settle down into just a half-court man-to-man now, and just backing off that pressure. And so we'll just see how they make the adjustments. Coach Mike Anderson took a timeout, to discuss how to beat that pressure, and Lyman dropped back into a man. So perfect coaching by both coaches doing what they need to do, and counter moves and so on. And Lyman doing a good job in the half court.
And short on the layup there was Courtney Larson. Loose ball picked up by Tatum. She'll quickly get it ahead to Seely Vick. Vick, top of the key, passes it over to Anderson. High pass, but controlled by Lyman anyway. There's Hollenbaugh on the far side. She'll pass it up top for Carolyn Flork. Back to Hollenbaugh. Now in down low. Badgers working it. Shot off the mark. Katura Tatum had the rebound, but lost it out of bounds, and Front Range Christian will get it back. A few empty possessions here for the Badgers is got to worry Coach O'Dwyer just a bit here, as his team has had plenty of chances to retake this lead, but they haven't been able to do so yet.
Yeah, they've just shown probably a little bit of nerves there, Ryan. Just both teams, again, just continuing to try and feel each other out, execute their offense, and trying to make something happen. And that final pass and that final move just seems to be a little bit lacking right now as Katura Tatum comes up with a huge block. Riley Anderson controls and finds Seely Vick on the wing, and they get it right into Katura.
Misses the shot there. May have been partially blocked. I think that's why you heard the roar from the Front Range Christian bench, because you look out there and Katura Tatum has a couple of inches on almost everybody else on the court, so that's one thing that you can see early on as Front Range Christian saves it, that the Badgers are trying to work the ball down low and use their size to their advantage as Front Range Christian turns the ball over.
Yeah, it's definitely a smart idea. She's definitely got, the size to bang around there and take advantage under the basket. They just have to do a good job of feeding her the ball. And I'll tell you, Sealy Vick, for an undersized, she's playing in the post, for an undersized post player, she is vicious under the basket. So I look to see if Lyman will try and feed her on the low block here moving forward.
Shot by Tatum is missed. Badgers had the rebound initially, but lost it, and now Front Range Christian has it. One substitution as Maggie Linneber comes in for the first time tonight, and she'll replace Carolyn Florick. Falcons driving the other way. Pass hit the rim. Rebound opportunity won't go. Another try for Front Range won't go, and this time the ball rolled up onto the top of the backboard, and the referee says out of bounds.
I tell you what, Janet Hill for Front Range, she has shown a ton of aggressiveness coming out to start this game. Taking a couple of early threes, getting a feel for the range and what she wants to do, and then a nice solid drive to the baseline and dumped off. Didn't pay dividends for them on that one, but really showing some aggression tonight. She really wants to win this game.
And Anderson gets her pass knocked away. Hill quickly jacks up a three. That one's no good. Rebounded by Maggie Linneber, and she tried to be a little bit too courageous there, trying to dribble through a double team. Didn't work out, and the Badgers turn it over again. 38 seconds to go in the first quarter. Badgers trailing 9-7. We've been stuck here for a while in this first quarter as both teams having trouble hanging on to the basketball. Hill with it, passes it to the top of the key for Porth. Porth now to the near side. Player loses the basketball. Riley Anderson has it, finds Tatum, tried to throw it forward to Linneber, and she'll lose it out of bounds. Badgers just in too much of a hurry there on the
the Badgers,
turnover.
The last couple of possessions, the Badgers have just looked in a rush, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just the enormity of the occasion. It's they're making the playoffs. They're here after where they were 3-9, several weeks ago, and they've made it all the way to get to this spot. They just seem to be just taking it too much and trying too hard.
As Selesky misses the three-pointer at the buzzer, that'll bring us to the end of one. Badgers on the wrong end of a 9-7 score. We'll take a break and come back with quarter number 2 here on CHSAA.tv. The following is an interview with a real high school student currently enrolled at Morgan Community College.
For me, it's been a huge relief, but challenging as well. Makes it so that when I get into a college that I already have my general credits, I can go into something knowing that I've already taken this, I can go further. And I will talk to admissions representatives and I'll say, well, I will be graduating high school with this 65 college credits. They look at me like I'm crazy. I'm ready to move forward, and I guess it's been easier, I think, being able to see myself in college thanks to having had college classes. I feel totally prepared, and I really feel like I'll be able to, once I get into wherever I decide to go, I feel like I'll be able to just start. I won't have very many questions. I'll just be able to go.
To get a jump start on your college career, log on to morgancc.edu or drop by their Lyman office at 940 2nd Street. Start of the second quarter, and immediately Front Range Christian turns the ball over. Tristan Samuels, Ryan Kaufman back with you here on CHSAA.tv. Badgers playing in the District 4 semifinals here as they'll have their first possession of the quarter. Pass is knocked away by the Falcons, and it will stay with Lyman here. Inbound coming from Riley Anderson right in front of the scores table.
Yeah, Ryan, I expect to see this game start to pick up a little bit of momentum as we move here into the second quarter. Both teams have had a chance to feel each other out. And we see Brooklyn Caton into the game for the first time after the break. She's going to turn the ball over on a traveling call, but I expect to see it pick up a little bit here and have a bit more of a quarter worth watching this time.
So here's Hill dribbling to the far side for the Falcons. Her pass taken away by Lyman. Riley Anderson coming hard back the other way. Bounce pass to Caton. She'll go up with the shot, and a foul is called. And an offensive foul.
Wow, that's Brooklyn Caton. First two possessions in the game, she gets dinged for a travel, and then offensive foul, just trying to push her way to get some space for a layup. And she's going to consequently come right out of the game.
So to reset the Lyman lineup for you, in the game will be Maggie Linneber, Riley Anderson, Seeley Vick, Katura Tatum, and Sarah, or who am I missing? Kelly Linneber. Did I say her? I think I did.
Yeah, Kelly Linneber. We've got both Linneber girls, Katura Tatum, Seeley Vick, and Riley Anderson.
There you go. So Front Range Christian with the basketball, leading by 2 points. With the pass on the near side, it's Larson driving. Layup won't go. Somehow Falcons pull down the rebound in a crowd of black jerseys.
Yeah, that's Alex Long.
And a foul called underneath on Lyman. And trying to see maybe Katura Tatum. They get with that foul. Either way, it will be baseline out of bounds for Front Range Christian.
Yeah, they can't. Lyman Badgers cannot afford to give up that kind of rebound. That's Alex Long. She's 5'7". In a crowd of Lyman Badgers, rips down the rebound and then comes up with a foul for her team to get an extra possession. And
Kelly Linneber picks up the foul. That's her third. So she'll have to sit probably for the rest of the half as Katura Tatum pulls down the rebound.
Courtney Larson with a beautiful spin move. Just couldn't get it, couldn't get to fall.
Here's Tatum with the rebound, put back, and one player from each side is on the floor on the baseline, and judging by the Badgers fans' reaction and the players' reactions, and certainly not least of all Coach O'Dwyer's reaction, it looks like it's going against Lyman underneath.
Well, I got to say, we're still sitting on 9-7, but if we look at what the most telling two numbers on the scoreboard are, that is the foul count at 7-0. The Badgers with 7 fouls to 0 fouls for Front Range Christian. And we're going to look to see if the referees are going to start balancing that up a little bit. They usually do. But right now it is going all Front Range Christian's way, but not on the scoreboard.
Yeah. Larson missing the front end there. That was, as Tristan mentioned, that's the 17th foul on the Badgers, so that's why Front Range was shooting free throws. Badgers turn it over, and Front Range Christian gets it right back. With it on the near side wing is Porth. She'll pass it down low, and a foul away from the ball.
What do we got going on here?
And they're going to get another Lyman player for the foul, and this is going to start to really gnaw at the Lyman fans. It's one of those things that most oftentimes it's just the way the game goes, and eventually, as you mentioned, that foul count will even out. But right now, the Lyman fans have got to feel they're being picked on a little bit as Hill hits the front end, so she'll earn another one.
Yeah, that's probably definitely the case. I mean, from a fan's perspective, you've got to be upset. But having said that, it's the flow of the game. There may have been some things that are missed, and that always happens. But having said that, we're still only looking at a 4-point differential after those 2 free throws for the team that's shooting bonus foul shots right now. So not that much damage considering the foul count.
Katura Tatum gets a pass in down low, and now a very sarcastic round of applause from the Lyman crowd as they say, finally, we get one to go our way. So it'll be the first team foul on Front Range Christian, the first personal on Alex Long. Quick inbounds pass, shot on the way for the Badgers is no good. Rebounded by Carolyn Florick. She gets it to Tatum. Turnaround up and in. Katura Tatum, nice low post move there, lays it up and in. And like you mentioned, Tristan, all of a sudden now it's just a 2-point game.
Right, and that's a huge rebound for Carolyn Florick. Just got herself in position and gave the rebound, the defensive rebound, a little bit of a nudge, and to get herself in position. Came up with the rebound and made a really heady post feed to Katura Tatum, and Tatum, good to see her get off the mark with a nice easy one off the glass. And as the fans here getting out of their seats for another foul call for Lyman, and they're going to go right back to Tatum, and she's going to go right back to work, and she's a little long on that one. But you can see Badgers are taking this personally and really starting to go at them.
So here's Front Range Christian leading by 2. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Pass into Port. She makes a nice move. Loses the basketball, though. Her teammate picks it up on the far side wing. That's Larson. She'll drive. Loses the basketball. Badgers pick it up. Coming back the other way, Seeley Vick. Long, good baseball pass. Shot on the way, no good. But Maggie Linneber is fouled, and the Badgers will get their first free throws of the evening.
Yeah, as I said at the top of this quarter, we're going to have to wait a little bit and watch this quarter start to develop a little bit, and you're starting to get a ball game now, getting up and down the floor, and getting to be kind of physical as we see the younger of the two Linnebers, Maggie, at the line.
She misses the front end. Alex Long picks up the foul. That's her first, team second. New face into the game for the Falcons. Kayla Ross, will come in for Ayuna Porth as the second free throw on the way for Linneber is also no good. That is something 10 times out of 10 will come back to bite you. Miss free throws. Yep. And the Badgers missed their first 2 of the night. So the score remains 11-9. Badgers trailing by 2. Front Range Christian threw the ball away. Luckily for them, Hill able to track it down, and a foul called here on the near side against Maggie Linneber. So this will result in still a 1-and-1 free throw situation, as that is the 9th team foul on the Badgers.
Yeah, and as we see here, fans, you can't quite see it, but off camera, Coach O'Dwyer is amazingly animated here on the sideline, and he did get 1 tech this year, as I understand it, and so he's going to have to be careful tonight and not get a second.
First free throw by Hill is up and in. They're going to get Maggie Linneber with that foul. That'll be the sophomore's second, team 9th. So as I said, still a 1-and-1, although Hill makes the front end. So she'll have 1 more here. Second free throw on the way for Hill is no good. Rebounded by Lyman. Seeley Vick pushing the ball up the floor. Has it top of the key. Bounce pass near side. Shot on the way is no good, but getting her own rebound was Carolyn Florick. She'll go back up with the shot. Still can't get it to go. And Front Range Christian pulls down another rebound. 4:18 to go in the second. Badgers trail 12-9.
Well, a couple of storylines, in addition to what we're seeing on the play out on the floor right now is clearly turnovers have been an issue. Missed shots, shooting percentage is woeful for both sides. They've both had a tremendous amount of opportunities and have not been able to capitalize on the additional possessions. And Lyman and Skyview are both pushing the ball at a pretty good tempo, but it's just not seeming to pay off for them just yet.
And Badgers turn it over again here, so under 4 minutes to go. Front Range Christian trying to add to their 3-point lead. Hill will pass it to the top of the key for Selesky. She'll give it off to Kayla Ross. Ross over to Hill. Badgers doing a good job moving around on defense, not allowing any moves into the paint. And just as I say that, Front Range Christian into the paint. Shot was missed, but a rebound and a putback. Foul called. Alex Long will get a couple of free throws.
Yeah, Coach O'Dwyer has not sat down since this game started, and he wasn't too happy about that one. But I have to say that there was probably a foul that they got away with, and the second one might not have looked as bad, but I believe the referee was making up for the one they missed there, and that was a fair call.
And they'll get Hollenbaugh for that foul. That'll be her first, team 10th. So now 2 free throws the rest of this half for Front Range Christian. This was a shooting foul anyway for Long. That's why she has 2. As she misses the second, rebounded by Katurah Tatum. Outlet pass to J.C. Hollenbaugh. Hollenbaugh with her fashion statement, 2 different colored shoes, puts up a shot. That one's no good. Rebounded by Lyman. Pass out to Carolyn Florick. Florick, bounce pass in down low to Sarah Meyer. Goes up, no good. Tatum with the rebound, put back and good. Front Range Christian, I think, wanted the offensive foul, but they do not get it, and Lyman fans say, welcome to the club. 12-11. Lyman now down by just a single digit here. Still plenty of time left in period number 2. As the Badgers try to get a turnover, Riley Anderson does corral it, but then a little bit too heady with that play and loses the basketball.
Both teams miss a golden opportunity there. Riley Anderson with her head down, doesn't see a streaking Maggie Linneber down the middle for the easy pass, and then coming back the other way, you had Janelle Hill wide open on the weak side of the floor, and does not get the ball in a wide open situation. So I guess they just cancel each other out, those two possessions.
Keturah Tatum is fouled, but apparently they'll say it's on the floor. So Badgers will have it baseline out of bounds. A substitution will be made. Maggie Linneberg coming in for Carolyn Florick, and Maggie's got to be careful with the foul trouble she's currently in. And I'm sure that's what Coach O'Dwyer told her as she came back out on the floor, as Tatum, right off of the inbounds pass, lays it up and in. Tatum with quite a first half here for the Badgers, and finally Lyman has gotten back on top. It's 13-12. Here's Front Range Christian driving to the hoop and laying it up and in is Larson. So good job by the Falcons answering right back to take the lead. 14-13 coming up on 2 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, and I think this is probably what they didn't do in the last game, is get the ball into Keturah Tatum as much as they needed to. And you can see, Keturah Tatum has taken this game upon herself and really not getting much input from anybody else, but still a long game to go. We'll have to just see how that plays out. It's going to be some interesting adjustments at the halftime, see how Front Range do guarding Keturah in the post.
Alpha missed shot. Badgers coming back the other way. Hollenbaugh passes it to Tatum. Turnaround jumper off the mark. Rebounded by Larson. She loses the basketball. Tatum has it, but she's trapped on the sideline. Somehow gets it to Anderson. Over to Hollenbaugh for three. That one short. Rebounded by Front Range Christian.
Yeah, she's been off tonight. She's only had a couple of good looks at it, and that was a second look from deep, and just not on tonight so far.
Bounce pass from Hill. That's got to be a travel violation, and it will be.
Maggie Linda was lucky she didn't get a push foul there.
Yeah.
Ryan, sorry about that.
Carice Courtney going up and down with the basketball. That's generally frowned upon in basketball. So now a few changes for the Badgers here with 1:14 to go in quarter number 2. Hollenbaugh will inbound the basketball to Carolyn Florick. Also on the floor will be Alyssa Reyes, J.C. Hollenbaugh, and Maggie Linneber all on the floor for Lyman as Reyes goes up with the shot. That one's a little bit strong. Rebounded by Hill. Under a minute to go, 55 seconds to be exact. Badgers trail by 1. Here's a shot and a defensive foul called. Lyman thought that their player was set. Apparently she was not.
You got to love the passion in the stands from both sides of the coin here, right into this game.
So they're going to get number 52 with the foul. Bad news is there's no number 52, so I think they'll have to redo that. I think it's Alyssa Reyes picking up the foul. So that'll be number 5 with her second foul. I think the number of fouls is correct, just not the number.
Coach O'Dwyer continues his conversation with the near side official. And still, the foul count still is 3-10. And Skyview in the double bonus situation. Short on the first.
And the second one coming up here, and it's on the mark. So Porth makes it a 2-point game, 15-13, 50 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Coming up at halftime, Coach Dirk Peterson will be joining us to preview his game against Denver Christian. Going back the other way, good layup there by Sealy Vick, and she ties us up at 15. And now decision time for Front Range Christian. How aggressive they want to be, or are they going to try to hold for the last shot? They're not going to. They got an open 3. It's tipped out off of Lyman, but it sure looked like it was off of Front Range Christian.
Much to the chagrin of the Lyman fans here. And they got to be close. They do finally get it in and avoid that 5-second call. And
another 3-pointer miss. Reyes going down to the floor to pick it up. 15 seconds for the Badgers. Still time. Carolyn Florick dribbles it off of her foot. Front Range Christian has it. Now with 8 seconds to go. Here's a 3-pointer from Porth. No good. Rebounded by Lyman. They still have a chance here. Vick will toss it up. And nowhere close to end the half.
Well, we got a barn burner here at Marlin High School in Denver, Colorado, between the Lyman Badgers and the Front Range Christian School do not go away. Halftime with Dirk Peterson of the men's Lyman High School Badgers coming right up. And I think we're going to take a break here, Ryan.
Yeah, we will. We'll be right back with Coach Peterson after this. Get your home ready for spring inside and out with great bargain of the month deals at Hoffman Drug True Value. Make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood with Scott's 4-step program for a healthy lawn. Just $59.99 with $20 mail-in rebate. And don't forget those flowers and outdoor plants. Save 20 to 25% or more on rose, fresh flower, and outdoor plant food. Want to start that garden this year? Pick up a herb garden planter kit on sale for just $6.99. Take advantage of these and other bargain of the month deals at Hoffman Drug True Value, 900 Main Street in Lyman. For our high school athletes, it's a time of transition, moving from fall sports to winter sports. And Equitable Savings transitions with them, continuing to support our high school sports broadcasts. Equitable home loans are made, funded, and serviced locally. And Equitable's mobile banking lets you do your banking from your smartphone globally. Equitable Savings, since 1954, the same local ownership, the same commitment to our communities. Member FDIC, deposits are FDIC insured to at least $250,000 and equal housing lender. There's nothing like the smoky, wood-burning flavors of slow cooking, and now Arby's has the perfect smokehouse taste that you crave. The new Smokehouse Brisket Sandwich features thinly sliced beef brisket that has been smoked for at least 13 hours. Melted smoked Gouda cheese, crispy onions, and smoky barbecue sauce and mayo, served on a toasted star-top bun. Come to Arby's at 2221 West 6th Street to try it today. Arby's, slicing up freshness. We are at halftime here in the first game of our district semifinal doubleheader. Ryan Kaufman to be joined soon by Tristan Samuels. Badgers tied with Front Range Christian right now, 15-15 at the break. And now welcome in the boys head coach, Dirk Peterson. And Dirk, I guess we'll talk about the first time he played, well, kind of the first time he played Denver Christian. Tough loss, obviously, but then your guys bounced back on Tuesday. Talk a little bit about that win on Tuesday on your home floor.
Well, Ryan, I thought kids came out and played really well. You know, we got a good contributions from Luke Meyer and Grant Yao. Both had probably their best games of the year, and you know, we set a season high for assists in that game, and you know, we played well as a team, shared the ball, and you know, we didn't rely on shooting a lot of threes, and a lot of that was due, you know, us able to get the ball inside. And, you know, we got to do a little bit more of that tonight if we're going to be successful.
Well, and last time you guys played Denver Christian, as I mentioned, it was a close game. You guys go down, but you had a big lead after the first. What maybe shift there going into the second quarter to kind of turn things Denver Christian's way?
Well, you know, we played a really good first quarter. You know, Gavin shot the ball extremely well for the first quarter and for the first half. And, you know, we got into that second half, and, you know, we had some really good looks at the basket and, you know, weren't able to knock them down. And then, you know, they kind of got some momentum and kept chipping at the lead. And, you know, even with 2 minutes to go, a minute to go, we still had a chance to win the game. And, you know, hopefully, you know, we can take that and learn from that and, you know, try to get a win tonight.
And last thing before we let you go, rebounding, I believe you guys were -4 in that category. Is that something that you're going to be talking to the boys about to make sure you don't let a talented scoring team like Denver Christian get second and third chances at baskets?
Well, you know, it's been an issue with us all year, and the games that we rebound well, especially on the offensive end, you know, we won those games. And last Tuesday against Denver Christian, you know, we had 5 offensive rebounds for the entire game. and we were minus in the total rebounds, and we know we did a pretty good job on the defensive boards, but we got to do a much better job tonight on the offensive boards to give us second chances. And anytime you go one shot and out, that limits your opportunity to score. So, we talked about it at the end of last week. We talked about it again last night, and hopefully we'll give a pretty good effort and get to those offensive boards tonight.
All right, and last thing before I let you go, is Kentucky basketball the most scrutinized sports program in the entire world, as Coach Cal said a few weeks ago?
Well, I'm a big Kentucky fan, so I'll give you my 2 cents on this. Coach Cal likes to create drama on his own. I don't know if they're most scrutinized. When you live in a hotbed of basketball like Kentucky, everybody's looking at you, pointing fingers. But anytime you bring in 6 freshmen and, you're starting 5 of them, there's going to be up and down to roller coasters. I don't know if they're most scrutinized, but they're probably the most inconsistent team in the top 25 this year.
Well, maybe if you would recruit guys that would stay more than 1 year, maybe we'd get that.
Well, I don't like the one and done. I think it doesn't give those kids a chance to grow. I wish they'd go to the NFL, where you have to be out of high school 3 years before you can go to the NBA. I think you'd see better basketball at the college level year in and year out. But,
yeah.
I mean, if it was me and they're off throwing me $25 million, I don't know if I could turn that down either.
All right, well, Duke all the way this year. Dirk, we'll let you go on that.
Yeah.
All right, that's Dirk Peterson. Best of luck tonight as the Lyman Badgers try to move on to the district finals, as kind of the same deal as the girls, where if they're going to move on to the district finals, they got to beat a team that just beat them a few weeks ago. In fact, it wasn't even that long for Lyman. So that loss to Denver Christian certainly fresh in their mind, and we're looking forward to a really good boys game coming up later this evening. But we got a really good girls game on our hands right now. So we'll step aside one more time. Tristan will rejoin me, and we'll talk about maybe what the Badgers need to do in the second half in order to overcome Front Range Christian and get to the District 4 finals. You're watching Badger Hoops here on CHSAA.tv. Get your home ready for spring inside and out with great bargain of the month deals at Hoffman Drug True Value. Make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood with Scott's 4-step program for a healthy lawn. Just $59.99 with $20 mail-in rebate. And don't forget those flowers and outdoor plants. Save 20 to 25% or more on rose, fresh flower, and outdoor plant food. Want to start that garden this year? Pick up a herb garden planter kit on sale for just $6.99. Take advantage of these and other bargain of the month deals at Hoffman Drug True Value, 900 Main Street in Lyman. As we transition from fall to winter sports broadcasts, we'll continue to be supported by Equitable Savings. Equitable Home Loans are made, funded, and serviced locally, and Equitable Mobile Banking lets you do your banking on the go globally. Borrow locally, bank globally with Equitable Savings. Since 1954, the same local ownership, the same commitment to our communities. Member FDIC, deposits FDIC, insured to at least $250,000, and equal housing lender. There's nothing like the smoky, wood-burning flavors of slow cooking, and now Arby's has the perfect smokehouse taste that you crave. The new Smokehouse Brisket Sandwich features thinly sliced beef brisket that has been smoked for at least 13 hours. Melted smoked Gouda cheese, crispy onions, and smoky barbecue sauce, and mayo, served on a toasted star-top bun. Come to Arby's at 2221 West 6th Street to try it today. Arby's, slicing up freshness. Getting ready for the second half here at Mullen High School in Denver, Colorado. Badger basketball for you here on CHSAA.tv. We are in the first of our hoops doubleheader here in the District 4 semifinals. Lyman and Front Range Christian tied up at 15 points apiece. Ryan Kaufman, Tristan Samuels back with you here on CHSAA TV. And Tristan, real quick before we begin the second half, one thing that you think the Badgers need to tighten up if they're going to come out on top in this second half?
Well, I'd love to say it's one thing the Badgers need to tighten up, but both teams really need to execute under the basket. Both teams have really struggled just getting the ball in up and in from really advantageous positions. So welcome back here to Mullen High School as we kick it off for the second half between Lyman Badgers and the Front Range Christian School.
Badgers will have the basketball to begin the second half. Shot is no good. Katura Tatum with the rebound. Her putback won't go. Badgers with another board. That's an awkward shot by Seeley Vick. Hits the rim and is no good. So Badgers come away wanting in their first possession of the second half. Here's Selesky. 3-ball right away is no good. Tatum with the rebound. Outlet pass to Carolyn Flork, who will bring it right to left into the front court. Calls out the offense. Passes it far side for Hollenbaugh. Now pass goes in down low to Tatum. Turnaround jumper, no good, but she's fouled. And we'll go to the line for 2. So here we go. First foul called in the second half, and it's against Front Range Christian. So already things looking up.
How about that? And Lyman go right back to their bread and butter. And exactly what they need to do is feed Katura Tatum on the low post. And once they can get her established down there, then they're going to start sagging in on her. It's going to open things up for the likes of, it's drawing a blank now for
J.C. Hollenbaugh.
I'm sorry, fans. That's J.C. Hollenbaugh I'm talking about. And Seeley Vick as well. So
as Tatum makes 1 of 2 from the free throw line, that gives the Badgers the lead, 16-15, just underway here in quarter number 3.
They're going to control in the half court and try and get their offense going. Lyman getting a little bit shook up there.
And Porth misses the shot. Ball knocked out of bounds. And Katura Tatum saying should be going the other way. Referee, unfortunately, disagrees with her. And usually the person in the striped shirt is going to win any debate, as Front Range Christian will inbound it from the corner here. Bounce pass and a good one underneath, but Tatum with another block. Rebounded by Front Range Christian. Here's a shot from the free throw line. That one's well short. Lands out of bounds, and Badgers defense holds here on this possession. They retain the 1-point lead, 6:49 to go in quarter number 3.
That was a solid defensive possession by the Badgers on that go around. However, I will bring up the case that they're going to have to start getting production from somebody else.
Carolyn Flork on the far side passes it down to the baseline. Now Seeley Vick looking to make some room, passes down low to Tatum. Shot on the way, no good. Reyes, though, she can't get the follow, but Tatum on the second try.
Reyes and Katura Tatum padding their rebound stats.
Isn't that a drill you do? You throw it to your teammate off the backboard.
Well, at least they came up with the finish, but really showing some aggressiveness down there under the basket as we see number 24.
That's Courtney Larson finishing there, answering right back, although the Badgers still lead by 1, 18-17. Lyman back the other way. Tatum with it down low. Goes down without the basketball, so it'll just be a turnover, no traveling there. Selesky, good bounce pass, far side. Layup no good for Alex Long, but she'll earn a couple of free throws.
That's going to be J.C. Hollenbaugh on the foul, I believe. Yep, 33, J.C. Hollenbaugh. I think that's her third foul in the contest. Going to be a bit of a concern for Coach O'Dwyer with his leading scorer carrying 3 fouls in this third quarter, early in the third quarter at that, Ryan.
First free throw by Long is missed, so both teams not capitalizing. Oh, the old adage goes they're called free throws for a reason, but both of these teams struggling from the line here in this game. Long will get one more free throw here to try and tie things up, and she can't convert, but gets her own rebound. Putback won't go. Reyes pulls down the rebound. That was almost a disaster for Lyman.
Well, that's something that should never happen, especially in high school where you cannot enter the lane until the ball hits the rim. I don't know if she got in there a little bit early there or just everyone was kind of half asleep there, but you can't ever let that happen.
And Alyssa Reyes going down with the basketball. That will be a traveling violation, and Reyes will be lifted in favor of Brooklyn Caton, the sophomore. So 18-17, 5.5 minutes to go in the third. Badgers with the slim lead.
They're going to stay in a man-to-man.
Bounce pass to the far side and taken away as Hollenbaugh just ripped that out of the hands of Courtney Larson. She'll pass it down low to Caton. Fights her way up and lays it in. And Brooklyn Caton will get a 3-point play opportunity.
I was a little bit worried when that ball was fed in there. She kind of got surrounded under the basket, kind of did a little pivot and got it up off the glass for 2, and she's going to go to the line for the bonus, Ryan.
Free throw is up and no good. Tatum can't pull down the rebound. That foul called to Chris Courtney. That'll be her second, team second. So Lyman with a 3-point lead, the largest they've had in this game. Here's Larson driving, lobs it for her teammate in a sea of black jerseys. Somehow gets it out. Shot is missed. Rebounded underneath by Seely Vick, and she'll push it hard back the other way for Lyman.
Yeah, this is exactly what Lyman needs to do. Is they need to keep pushing the tempo. They need to use their speed and wear out.
And a timeout called by Bardo Dwyer had to be just before, but it seemed like Hollenbaugh was released the shot as the timeout was called. Luckily, the timeout granted to Coach O'Dwyer. 4:59 to go in the third. Badgers leading 20-17 here in the District 4 semifinal game. The winner moves on to play Lutheran on Saturday.
Now, this is a pivotal time in this game right now. This timeout, this time at the third quarter, huge turning point. If Lyman can hold off the Falcons at this juncture, I think they're going to push on here and build their lead. If they don't, we're going to stay in a dogfight all the way to the wire, I believe.
Lyman comes out with Vick, Florick, Hollenbaugh, Tatum, and Caton, the 5 on the floor for Coach O'Dwyer. Pass to the far side goes to Hollenbaugh. Pass into the paint here for Vick. She'll pass it to Florick. Good head fake. Carolyn drives. Can't quite get it to go. Tatum can't make the follow. Rebounded by Larson. And there's just a lid on the basket here in the second half for Lyman. They still lead, though, by 3. 4:11 to go in the third quarter. Good pass for Solinsky. She'll pass it out to Larson. Now up top, 3 ball on the way is no good. Neither team being able to make anything from beyond the 3-point arc. And when they do make something, it doesn't count, as is the case there.
Bounced around on the top of the glass and fell in. Unfortunately, due to the rules, that one is not going to count. But
style points, certainly style points.
Well, I'll tell you what, Carolyn Florick on the last possession made an amazing move on the baseline and just came up short.
As does Seely Vick there on the shot, rebounded by the Falcons. Hill will bring it into the front court for Front Range Christian. Dribbles to her left, now cuts into the paint, drops it off, shot on the way, too long. Rebound, put back is good for Larson. Every time Front Range Christian pulls down the rebound, it always is inevitably Larson. She has had a huge game on the boards as she gets another one there. Bad shot by the Badgers, controlled by the Falcons here. Lyman's lead trimmed down to 1. Sorry, Tristan.
You're right. Typically, when you take a measure of rebounds and turnovers, the team that wins the rebound battle typically is the one that comes out on top, but not necessarily at this level, Ryan. Mm-hmm. I think you said last time that the Falcons actually won the game by a handful of points, but they were out-rebounded by a couple by Lyman. So not as much as a determining factor as in maybe boys or high-level games. So very interesting.
Yeah. 20-19, 3 minutes to go. Pass into the corner for Vick. I think the Badgers a little gun-shy now out on the perimeter.
Well, they're doubling up Katura Tatum on the inside. They're not going to let her catch it. So this is the time in the game when they need to do just that right there. They need to find the open player. That's Seely Vick cutting right there to the elbow, knocking down the little 2-point jump shot. That's what the Badgers are going to have to do if they want to win this game. And, the Falcons are doing the right thing in covering up Katura Tatum the way they are, but they're going to have to do it on the offensive end. As I say that, they just miss another chip shot underneath the basket, Ryan.
Rebounded here by Lyman. Coming back the other way for the Badgers is Kelly Linneber. She'll pass the near side for Hollenbaugh. Now Vic trying to drive, loses the basketball. Hollenbaugh tracks it down just shy of midcourt, passes it over. Here's Linneber with the shot from the elbow. That one is no good. Tatum with the rebound. Put back will go.
And here we go. We are getting into a nice up and down game here for you Hoops fans out there. Hope you're enjoying this one as much as we are.
Hill driving the other way. Shot from the elbow is short. Rebounded by Seely Vick. She'll push back the other way. Dribbles through a crowd. Gives it up to Hollenbaugh. Thought about the three. Bardo Dwyer saying, come on, JC, you got to take that shot.
Yeah.
But as I said, I think the Badgers on the perimeter are a little bit gun shy because it really hasn't gone their way when they've shot it from the perimeter.
Yeah. Coach O'Dwyer just begging for JC Hollenbaugh to get going in this game as we see bodies are getting strewn all over the floor. And I was going to say, on that last possession, we haven't seen much from Janelle Hill. The last couple of possessions, she's been trying to force the issue a little bit. Not really paid off dividends on the scoreboard, but she's been really starting to show up here in this third quarter. She came out strong in the first and went quiet kind of there in the second. Now she's really trying to force the issue here in the third.
Katura Tatum making that basket as a timeout is called by Front Range Christian. Coach Anderson seeing his team fall behind their biggest deficit that they faced in this game at 7 points. So as you mentioned, Tristan, the Badgers started making some shots. Front Range Christian continuing to miss them, and now here you see Badgers at least in control for now, but as they saw last time these two teams met up, Front Range Christian can get back at this in a hurry.
Yeah, and really and truly the Badgers have been fortunate in the sense that the Falcons have missed just as many shots as the Badgers have. That changes a little bit with a couple of threes here or there, and this game looks a lot different. Fortunately, Badgers leading this one. For Badgers fans, they've got to be happy to see their team up, but Falcons fans, stay tuned because I dare say we're going to see a little bit of a push here by your girls out here tonight.
So Front Range Christian will have it. The lineup for Bardo Dwyer will be Alyssa Reyes, Sarah Meyer, Brooklyn Caton, also Kelly Linneber, and J.C. Hollenbaugh. The five on the floor for Lyman. 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Badgers trying to hold their 7-point lead. Yeah, Larson loses it. Hollenbaugh gets it.
They extended their defense out of that timeout to give the Falcons a little bit of a different look, and it paid off as J.C. Hollenbaugh, he, at the begging of her coach, launches one, and nonetheless, that's 0 for 3 tonight.
So Hill pulls down the rebound here, and now she'll push it back the other way as she dribbles back out to the perimeter. 30 seconds to go for Front Range Christian to try and cut this deficit down. With it at the top of the key is Selesky, and a foul is called away from the basketball going against Lyman. But certainly not the foul-palooza we had in the first quarter, only the second team foul on Lyman, and it will be baseline out of bounds for the Falcons.
Yeah, much tighter game this half. I think the referees probably had their own little halftime powwow, like maybe the first half got a little bit out of hand from the foul counts, and they're being a lot more deliberate about what they're calling. As we see number 22, Charis Courtney, bomb one from deep, and that's just what you were talking about, Ryan. Look out, Badgers.
Yeah, the Front Range Christian can shoot the basketball. They haven't done so for the most part, but certainly are capable of doing that as Lyman misses a shot from the baseline. So now Front Range Christian, I think maybe not realizing how much time was left on the clock, they bleed it dry, and we've come to the end of the third quarter. Badgers with the lead, but only by 4. Stick around. We got an exciting fourth quarter coming up here on CHSAA.tv. Get your home ready for spring inside and out with a great bargain of the month deals at Hoffman Drug True Value. Freshen up your rooms with Easy Care Ultra Premium with paint and primer in one. $5 off with instant savings coupon. Save 30% on Master Painter 3-pack select paintbrushes and get to those hard-to-reach areas with a 4-step aluminum step stool, now 27% off at just $39.99. Take advantage of these and other bargain of the month deals at Hoffman Drug True Value, 900 Main Street in Lyman. Start of the fourth quarter, Badgers leading in the District 4 semifinal 26-22 over Front Range Christian. Ryan Kaufman, Tristan Samuels back with you here on CHSAA.tv. Front Range Christian will start with the basketball. Ball knocked away by Riley Anderson, but the Falcons get it back. With it on the near side wing is their leading scorer, Janelle Hill.
I think coming out of that timeout, Ryan, oh, that was almost that three-pointer going down for the Falcons. Coming out of that timeout, the Badgers broke the huddle early, and they were standing out on the floor with a good 8 to 10 seconds waiting for the Falcons to come out. It looks like Lyman really ready to take this one home and go on to the next round.
Alyssa Reyes goes down with the basketball. That knee touching the floor, that'll be a travel. That's why Front Range Christian still has the basketball here. 7.5 minutes to go in the game. Lyman leading by 4. Pass in down low here, knocked away by Lyman. J.C. Hollenbaugh comes up with it.
Sarah Meyer with some great hands there. Just stuck her hand in there, knocked it away. And they get a wide open shot down this end by Riley Anderson as she makes it count.
That's a long 2 there to make it a 6-point game, 28-22. 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Hill with it, top of the key, lobs it in down low. Now a pass out to the wing. Lyman doing a good job of rotating here onto their men.
It's going to be important for Front Range Christian to settle down here, compose themselves, not get too worked up by the momentum that the Badgers are showing. They're going to have to settle down. If they get into a situation where they start launching shots, it's going to be curtains.
Traveling violation called against Front Range Christian there. So Lyman gets it back. Pass in down to the corner. Now down low to Tatum. Trying to work her way through a double team. Shot is missed. Reyes goes up and is fouled.
Reyes coming up big. Huge offensive rebound, and she's going to maintain possession for her team.
So the foul is called on the floor, so it'll be baseline out of bounds for Lyman. Third personal foul here. Going against, again, the scoreboard operators have the wrong number. They say 33. There's no 33 on Front Range Christian. But
going to have a jump ball there, Ryan.
That'll be the third foul, by the way, on Front Range Christian as a team. And Badgers will keep it here after the jump ball. Lob in to Tatum. Here's a long 2. That one's off the mark. Front Range Christian tracks it down in the corner. And now Katura Tatum, good pressure there, knocked it out of bounds. And now that's going to allow her team to go ahead and get back on defense here.
Yeah, heads-up play. She just followed the ball, followed her instincts. Got a deflection, and like you said, saved a fast break play. Who knows what would have come of it, but in any case, they get back to set up their defense. And again, Lyman extending their defense out on the floor.
Three-pointer buried. That's the second for Carice Courtney.
I tell you what, that's I think that's the third or fourth one she's popped up this half, and she is eager to get that one up.
Here's a shot from Lyman to answer Sarah Meyer.
Huge.
Like Nuggets fans will remember, the recently departed Andre Miller would never get off the ground on her on his shots. Sarah Meyer not doing that, but it works out for her. She buries the jumper, and now some changes for Lyman will occur. So once we get all scattered here, we'll reset the lineup for you. It looks like it will be Seeley Vick, along with
Brooklyn Caton, Riley Anderson,
Alyssa Reyes, and it looks like
J.C. Hollenbaugh.
Right, guarding the inbounds pass.
I think Katura Tatum took a bit of a knock, and that's why she came out of the game. She wasn't really evident where she wasn't holding any particular body part, but she's definitely took a knock somewhere or twisted a knee or something like that. She is not looking too good on the sideline as she's getting a little bit of attention down there.
It will be baseline out of bounds here for Front Range Christian, who trails by 5. 5.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Front Range with it on the perimeter. They'll pass it to the near side. Now a head fake. A wild pass goes into the backcourt. That should be over and back unless Lyman gets it, which they do, and now a jump ball. And I think this is going to go Front Range Christian's way. It will. That was kind of a tough break.
Yeah, it really should have left that one alone. They would have got the backcourt call. In the heat of the moment, not really thinking about what the possession arrow is doing, but we'll have to watch that. The extra possession, and look, they turn around, they get a turnover. Riley Anderson steals the ball away from number 5, Kayla Ross.
And then Ross proceeds to foul Anderson. So that'll be the first foul on her and the fourth team foul on Front Range Christian. So now you're looking at it, 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go. About 2 more fouls to give if you're Front Range Christian. Lyman still with only 3 team fouls, so in good shape there. Pass here to Caton.
Yeah, Front Range definitely do not want to get in a foul situation here in this fourth quarter.
And there's Caton underneath wrestling for the ball. This time the possession arrow smiling on the Badgers, so they'll have it baseline out of bounds. J.C. Hollenbaugh holding up her finger. Apparently that is the play where they run screens all over the place. Pass in here.
Well, they get it right back to J.C. Hollenbaugh on a step in from the out of bounds, and she's long on the shot. But Badgers do get back and cover defensively as Janelle Hill was streaking down the floor. I thought she was going to take it all the way to the basket there, Ryan.
And now she's going to try that again as she misses the shot. Rebounded by Front Range Christian, and then a couple players hit the floor. I don't know how they didn't get a traveling violation on either side. I didn't really see who had possession, but finally they called a jump ball, and it'll be baseline out of bounds for Front Range Christian.
I tell you what, fans, you're getting treated to a couple of girls' teams out here that are fighting for every inch. Their bodies flying all over the floor. The ball's getting tied up on every other possession. They are really getting after each other now in this last 4 minutes and 39 seconds of the fourth quarter.
Traveling violation called there on Front Range Christian, so Lyman will get it back, leading by 5. And a timeout will be called by Coach O'Dwyer. So I think Coach O'Dwyer realizing a critical juncture in this fourth quarter. His team's up by 5, a decent lead, but certainly not safe by any stretch. So he calls the 30-second timeout to make sure his girls know exactly what they're going to do on this offensive possession.
Yeah, and Coach Anderson really needs to get his girls to calm down and execute their offense, and they're doing a half-decent job defensively. Keturah Tatum's out of the game, so they're not employing that double team on the low block. They're able to spread out and match up. They just have to play a little bit of lockdown D and compose themselves on the offensive end, which I'm sure that Mike Anderson is saying something to that effect to his team to try and get back in this game, Ryan.
As Lyman comes back on the floor, they'll have Seeley Vick, J.C. Hollenbaugh, Riley Anderson, Alyssa Reyes, and also Brooklyn Caton. Still no Keturah Tatum. I think if you're Coach O'Dwyer, realizing that your season will not come to an end either way this evening, you may want to hold out one of your best players as long as you possibly can, as Reyes loses it into the backcourt. So a turnover here will give Front Range Christian the ball back, and that just drives coaches crazy. You draw up a play, you tell the girls exactly what they're going to do, and then they come out and turn the ball over.
Kind of makes you feel like you wasted a timeout, but after that turnover, Coach O'Dwyer going right back to coach and telling his players not to go east and west, to go north and south, and hopefully they can correct that as they get themselves another turnover here.
Yeah, Auna Porth, the 5'4" senior, being called for the traveling violation. So it remains 30-25, coming up on 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. J.C. Hollenbaugh hacked, and that will be just a sideline out of bounds here. 5 team fouls now on Front Range Christian, and now they'll bring in a new face. I believe this is the first time tonight we've seen Jalissa DeHaan, the junior, and she'll come into the game here as J.C. Hollenbaugh kicks it out. Seeley Vick thought about the 3, still had time to shoot, but instead will direct traffic.
She's struggled from outside in the second half of this season, and I think it's just one of those deals where, maybe she's not feeling like she can make it, or looking for that right there, get a better possession, get a better look.
And that was a good pass, but Caton just could not finish. Front Range Christian gets it back. Meanwhile, Keturah Tatum is walking up and down behind her own bench, and now she tells Coach O'Dwyer, I'm good to go, and Bart says go ahead.
Yeah, he wastes no time getting her back into the game.
So now Front Range Christian turning it over again. So now Keturah Tatum comes in, replacing Brooklyn Caton, and the Badger fans a little bit louder on their applause this time around, knowing that Keturah, a key piece here for the last 3.5 minutes. And she gets a great pass from Vick, lays it up and in, plus the foul And Katura Tatum, fresh off the bench, will get a 3-point play opportunity.
I'll tell you what, that just it's a real testament to what she provides for this team. She didn't have a good game out last time against the Falcons. This game out, she's having a tremendous night. She checks back into the game, her first touch back in, and one, going to the line to complete the 3-point play. Let's see if she can make it 3.
And that'll be called on Alex Long. That's her second as
And
Tatum makes the and one. 6-team foul here on Front Range Christian, so that's something to watch out for. Next foul will be given the Badgers free throws, so good thing for them moving forward.
Front Range Christian starting to feel it slip away a little bit here as they start launching threes from the outside. That's Charis Courtney. She continues to bomb away from deep.
And here's J.C. Hollenbaugh as the Badgers have the ball. Pass up top here to Seeley. Vick will direct traffic. Passes the near side for Anderson.
They can really afford to just calm down now, run their offense, and invite the Falcons out to apply pressure. And just like we see there, they're going to draw fouls. So Lyman Badgers in complete control of this game late in the fourth quarter, Ryan.
And see if Alyssa Reyes can help her team out here by making 2 free throws. This is just a 1-and-1 as the 7th team foul on the Falcons, so she's got to make the front end to get another. And she'll put up the one-handed shot. That one is no good, and now will they say a lane violation? Yeah, apparently Alyssa's foot slipped over the free throw line.
Did she take her left hand off of that ball before she shot it? That was probably the most unique free throw I've seen this year.
I'll do you one better. Rick Barry, who used to play for the Warriors back in the day, his granny shots, I covered a game a couple weeks ago where a kid shot like that with the underhand.
No way.
Everyone laughed at him, but he hit like all 10 he shot, and then he kind of gave a big smile to the opposing crowd saying, yeah, you're laughing at me, but look, I just beat you. But anyway.
Well, there you go. I didn't think I'd ever hear of a kid shooting underhand Rick Barry style and making them all.
Yeah. And that's what he always said as Lyman gets the rebound. He always told Shaq, I can make you a 80% free throw shooter if you just shoot like me, but ego sometimes gets in the way, especially with professional athletes.
Well, that's for sure. Yeah.
Here's a shot from Hollenbaugh. Buries it from the free throw line.
She finally makes one. As we go under 2 minutes to play, looks like Coach Anderson is going to go ahead and call a timeout, try to do something to cut into this 10-point lead with 2 minutes to go. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and give a little bit of a shout-out. I think I've got some people not only domestically watching this game, or locally, I should say, but also internationally. So we are international broadcasters tonight. So love you all. Love you, every single one of you.
Good day and cheers. Did I get that right? Cheers.
Close enough. Yeah. The good day was.
I don't have the accent.
That's right. I'm sure anybody listening back home in my home country are probably marveling at how American I sound, while people who sit around me still think I sound Australian. So it's a win-win.
I meant to ask you as the Badgers are coming out on the court. Grant Balfour, national treasure in Australia. No, baseball not the. I hear it's growing in Australia.
Ryan mentions the name Grant Balfour and gets nothing but a blank look from me. No, baseball, not really that big.
Andrew Bogut, how about that?
Andrew Bogut. Andrew Gaze, all-time basketball legend from Australia.
I'm a baseball guy, so that's why I brought up Balfour.
Well, let me give you a little bit of education. Andrew Gaze, in his 40s, led the Australian professional league in basketball in scoring in his 40s. And that's a fun fact for you high school hoops fans.
Google it, kids.
Yeah, Google that.
Front Range Christian now coming up on the point where they're just going to ride it out and start chucking up threes and hope good things happen. And unfortunately for the Badgers, something good for them did happen as Hill is fouled.
So that'll be the Falcons, folks. But as Janelle shoots these free throws, Ryan, let's talk a little bit about the scenario. You made a comment earlier, and I'd like to clarify for the fans. She's going to shoot three free throws.
She was fouled.
Could you clarify for the fans? You said it doesn't matter, win or lose. They're still going to play another game. It's not the end of the season. Tell us a little bit about how that bracket's going to work.
I always hesitate to put myself on record, but the way I understand it is that this district will get 4 teams going. So if you won on Tuesday, you're automatically going on to the next round. Now, what happens is, obviously, as the Hill makes the last free throw, that the better you do in this tournament, the higher seeded you'll be next weekend as Tatum is fouled and will go to the free throw line. So the way it is, the top 4 teams out of the region go. So tonight we have the top 4 playing.
Right.
So Lutheran and Byers and Front Range Christian and Lyman. So now Lutheran won, Byers lost. Lyman appears to be headed for a win as Tatum makes the front end. And then you'll have Front Range Christian and Byers. They'll play
so it's really
later.
all just for seedings.
Right, exactly.
Okay, and then the next – so this is districts or regionals?
This is districts, and then next week, I believe, is
regionals.
Regionals. So
then we'll move on to state past that. Now, how many teams from regionals will go on to state?
2, I believe.
Just 2.
Again, you're putting me on the spot.
That's
Tristan,
all right. Hey, I think the fans out there know that, but just wanted to see if we could get some kind of framework for the fans out there to understand what's going to happen. So really and truly, we're playing for seedings in the next round.
And plus, as a timeout is called on the floor, Lyman's still leading by 13 points despite the three-pointer made there by, or is a long 2, made there by Front Range Christian. But so much, I mean, seeding is seeding. But, Tristan, as you know, so much about this year, about playing, is about momentum. And even if you say, well, we lost this game, but we're still moving on to regionals, well, you much rather be the team that wins throughout districts, and then that way you're not having to kind of go back to the drawing board, so to speak, because you lost a couple of games in the district playoffs. So still important, even beyond seeding, just to be in a good rhythm as the Lyman has been for the last month or so. And
it's always easier for a coach, from a coaching perspective, it's always easier to talk to your team about the things they need to correct after a win than it is after a loss. The emotions are always running high after a loss, just as much as a win, but, it's difficult to critique your team after a big loss.
So Lyman coming back quickly the other way. Tatum misses the layup. Puts the shot up. That one's no good. Gets another rebound. Tips it out to Anderson. She'll pass it into the corner.
Cooler heads prevail.
Yeah.
I've been really impressed with J.C. Hollenbaugh's development this year. Just a couple of little things that you see. And I've watched her play several games this year thus far. I've been fortunate to watch her grow a little bit. I mean, early on in the year, she would have taken that shot from the corner, thought about herself and getting a shot off and thinking that was the best thing for the team. You see her come through this season. She shows a lot of maturity there to go, hey, we don't need to get a shot here. Let's retain possession, and she kicks the ball out. And
with Tatum missing the front end here of the free throws, things getting very interesting. It's just a 7-point lead for Lyman as the scoreboard operators here gave an extra few points to Lyman. So it's 37-30, 35 seconds to go. Hill with it on the far side. Well, Front Range Christian looking for a shot. They'll get an open look. Here it comes. That one's no good. Rebounded by Hollenbaugh. Well, now you got to think about fouling if you're Front Range Christian. Pass up to Anderson, and she'll be fouled on the pass.
Wow. It's exactly what needed to be done. The Badgers extending their defense, playing man-to-man, not switching anything, because the Falcons need to get a 3 off. They got an open look there, and they were long on that one, but that's what they need to do.
And right now it's a 3-possession game as Anderson makes a 4 first, and that makes it a 4 or still a 3-possession game, but you have to hit 2 3-pointers. Another free throw here would mean that Front Range Christian would have to hit 3 trays in the last 20 seconds. Well, and I think they've made maybe 4 all game long. So as Anderson misses the second, it sure looks like long odds for Front Range Christian, but the Badgers still need to play defense here, and that's no surprise. They're letting Front Range Christian get into the lane and shoot. 2s don't hurt you as Vic pulls down the rebound and is fouled, so she'll get 2 free throws. And with 6.6 left, it looks like Lyman will be moving on to the district finals as finally Coach O'Dwyer can breathe a sigh of relief and give his girls some hand pounds as
Yeah, it's 6.6 seconds to go, and it's all but academic here. We did have a great game to start out, and I don't mean to blow my own horn here, but that timeout, third quarter, a couple minutes to go in the third quarter, was really the difference. Which team was going to come out and assert their authority to push and take this game all the way to the line. The Falcons, they mounted a pretty good effort to try and come back. Couldn't get it done, unfortunately, down the stretch for Falcons fans, as Lyman's going to take this one to a rousing applause from their home fans.
So Lyman moves on to the district finals as they get a big win over Front Range Christian, a team that had beat them just about a little over a month ago. They win by his final score of 38-30.
Yep.
So one Lyman team is in to the district finals, and now we'll see coming up in a little bit if another Lyman team can get in. Tristan, final thoughts here before we break the stream and come back on a little bit later.
Well, first of all, do not go away. Come back and watch these Lyman boys versus Denver Christian. That's going to be a huge game. But final thoughts, I thought that Lyman struggled. Early on I thought both teams really struggled, but Lyman taking the win really got a lot to talk about. They missed a lot of shots tonight, gave up a lot of rebounds, and turned the ball over a ton. They're going to have to tighten up if they want to go on and take this one out. Gallant effort by the Falcons tonight, coming up a little bit short. They're going to get to play again. So we'll just have to see. But like I said, don't go away. We've got a huge game coming up between Denver Christian and Lyman Badger boys.
Well put, partner. Thank you, Tristan, for joining me. I hope I did okay. We got Joe Brewer going to step in here and join me for the boys game, which is coming up here in about 10 minutes. So we'll break the stream, and you'll have to open up the boys game file, but you already know that already. So we'll sign off for now and be back in just a little bit with the boys district semifinal game. Once again, the girls win it 38-30 for Tristan Samuels. I'm Ryan Kaufman. We'll be back with you here shortly on CHSAA.tv.
Good night.